Good morning, and welcome to the banks of the Indian River. It's a beautiful morning, beautiful sunrise. It's still rising. You can see the bridge over there. People are on their way to work. They're doing the whole frantic, gotta get to work thing. Good luck, guys. Meanwhile, I'm walking along the edge of the river talking to a friggin' camera. It's a good life, people. It's a damn good life. You know, I keep thinking I'm gonna run into somebody up here camping in the woods or something like that, which is very, very possible. So hopefully I don't wake them up. It's so peaceful out here. I see some dolphins every now and then, lots of mullet jumping. Just another example of God's beautiful creation. I think showing appreciation for that is key. I think it's very important to have gratitude in my heart and appreciation for what God gives us. There's so many gifts. All we have to do is look for them. They're there. So last night I was at an 11th step meeting. What we have on Thursday nights is a candlelight 11th step meditation meeting. Not a lot of meditating going on, to be honest with you, but it's still very relaxing. You know, the lights are off, the candles are lit, and you're talking about spiritual matters. One of the things that I thought about during that meeting was the fact that I used to be under the influence of alcohol. Not anymore. Now I'm under the influence of God. And that didn't happen overnight. Fought the whole spiritual aspect of the program. I fought that for the longest time. And I'm glad that I finally gave up the fight on that, because, you know, like I've heard in the past, if you want to talk about the spiritual part of the program, it's like talking about the wet part of the ocean. It's all spiritual. The entire program is spiritual. And so if you're fighting the spiritual aspect, you're fighting the whole thing. You know, for me, I thought I had given that whole God topic a chance when I was younger. And, you know, God didn't give me what I thought I deserved. And so I moved on. Figured, you know, if, I don't know, my father raised me with some of these like one-liner cliches. Like, for example, the one that really sticks in my mind is, if it is to be, it is up to me. In other words, complete self-reliance. Now, this is the same father that got sober in AA. So he didn't stick with that particular philosophy, but he did instill it in me. And so when I got to the program of Alcoholics Anonymous, I was self-sufficient, or at least I thought I was self-sufficient. My life was completely unmanageable, but yet I was the only one managing it. The idea behind spirituality in the program is me stepping out of the driver's seat, me stepping out of the way of God, letting Him take over control of all the particulars in my life. Now, you know, early on in recovery, that's hard to picture. And you know, the funny thing is it really doesn't take that much. I was full of anxiety over it, fear. You know, what, I'm going to turn my life over to this God that I've never seen or talked to or heard from, and you know, you're wanting me to just hand over my entire life to this God? I was kind of freaking out over that. Well, you know, little by little, you know, starting with small things like traffic lights that wouldn't turn green fast enough for me, I started handing things over to God. I started getting out of that seat of control. And every time that I would do it, I would feel a sense of freedom, because it wasn't mine to deal with, it was God's to deal with. The only thing that I had to do was practice acceptance for the way that things were going. I didn't have to be in charge of anything anymore. Now, again, that started slow. That did not, that didn't come easily to me. But now that I've been doing it for quite some time now, I have to say it is very, very freeing. Beginning of recovery, we get a sponsor and we start doing the steps and that sort of thing. And I think everyone is told, call your sponsor, call your sponsor. Well, I don't know if you guys have dealt with this at all, but I became pretty reliant upon my sponsor. You know, when things would come up in life, call my sponsor. Hey man, this is happening. What do you think I should do? What would you do? Well, after so long of doing that, I realized I already know what my sponsor is going to say when I call him this time, you know? And his line of thinking became my line of thinking. Does that make sense? It was intuitive. My intuition told me what my sponsor was going to say. And then I realized that my sponsor had been getting his intuition from God himself. And that I didn't need to go through a sponsor for that. I could go straight to God for that. Isn't that cool? So then, that's what I started doing, was going straight to God. And after so long of going straight to God, I don't have to go to him as often with problems anymore. Because I've learned to, wait a minute, I already know what God's going to say about this one. I already know how he feels about this. So, the intuition kicks back in again. You know, and it's talked about in the 11th step when you read, you know, upon awakening or on awakening, an intuitive thought. Huh? Yeah. That frees me up. That frees me up as far as those problems go, because I give it to God and then I practice acceptance. Life is a whole lot easier that way. And I am extremely grateful. Hear that motorcycle going across the bridge? It's kind of loud. No, I'm extremely grateful that that I finally not only opened my mind, but opened my heart to spirituality and to releasing my control and passing it over to a power greater than myself. That's made a huge difference in my life. I'm pretty calm today. I don't get worked up over things like I used to. I don't have to freak out anymore, because I know it's not up to me to make it happen. I've given it to God. The main thing is that I have a higher power, and I choose to call him God. And he has changed everything about my life. He is the one that's in charge now. And I'm so grateful for that. So if you still haven't accepted God as your higher power, if you still haven't turned it all over to him, I encourage you to do so quickly. It'll change your life. No more freaking out. Life is so much smoother when he's in charge. When I'm the one in charge, it doesn't go so well. My track record sucks. So I'm going to continue to keep giving it to God and just stay out of his way. Practice acceptance, and life will be like even keeled. Nice, smooth life. I like it better that way. And I'm sure you would too if you'd just give it a try. So, you guys have a fantastic day, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.